Welcome back, folks. We're getting into game number 1 of the other semifinals. This one's going to be a ZvZ. Still best of 5. And remember, the winner of this goes on to fight against Innovation. But most importantly, both of these players are already in it for the money. Thanks to you guys, we got a really awesome prize pool. We still have codes available, so do us a favor. Head on over to the Match Arena site. Use the code LITE4 to add $1 to the prize pool if you haven't already. It'll cost you nothing. You won't have to enter any payment information. And this money will go directly to the players. They'll put it right in their PayPals as soon as they get it. So, without further ado, to the bottom left, we have the blue Zerg player, Impact.
And top right, the red Zerg player. This is Splice's Solar.
Both opting for, I guess, pool first. I didn't actually catch. Were those 12 pools? No, right?
No. 16 pools.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
I was only asking because Impact, or was it? Oh shoot, I've actually just mixed them up. One of these two Zerg players, though, has been doing dumb things where they go for the 12 pool, not for the Zerglings in the macro play, but for a drone pool and spine crawlers. And it's been pretty ridiculous to watch, but I'm having a brain fart now. I can't remember which one of them was doing it. Either way, irrelevant for this, because they're taking hatcheries.
That's right. When your brain flatulence settles, maybe it'll come back to you.
When you cast too much StarCraft and it all just blends together.
Yeah,
this is actually a small
now.
note. People like to talk about the whole WCS thing, like the casters, Rivka, why don't you cast WCS, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I'm actually at this point now where I grind so many of these casts out. I don't think I would do well at a WCS event simply because I wouldn't have the capability to study up for the matches the same way a lot of these other people do, right? Like Maynard, for example, could actually spend a week prepping for IM. I still have to run BTSL, Lima League, and blah, 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 blah. I wouldn't have any time for that stuff. And honestly, it all meshes together, man. My brain's mush.
I think the amount of casts that you do are kind of prep already because you have a good history, like a good knowledge of the history of most of these players. And also, when I do my prep, I don't prep for a week. I used to. Honestly, I start prepping when groups are announced because it's much easier to get, like, if I spend a week writing a cheat sheet on every single player in the tournament, it's a really inefficient use of my time when I could just be talking about the series and I won't know the series until groups are announced. So, yeah.
I like to imagine it's actually even different than that for you specifically, where it's like, all right, you got Zombie over the cue cards, you know, Roddy's studying replays. You're in the back just double checking those dreadlocks are in perfect order. Yeah,
just making sure that there's no flyaways, and I got my my favorite waxes ready, and everything looks really nice. No, actually, Todd's the guy that looks up a lot of VODs. Like, he watches a lot of VODs. Roddy doesn't actually need to prep at all because he's like a fucking encyclopedia. Roddy's like the only guy, well, not the only guy, but Roddy is like completely not replaceable in any tournament. That's why he's in absolutely everything, because he has to be there.
Well, Solar's thrown down a spine crawler, which I'm a little surprised about. He did scout the third, and sometimes this is a fake third, and sometimes it's just a Ling factory, but Impact's actually droning right now. So the spine crawler, not that it finishes, but indicates Solar's like a little bit scared as he goes for, I guess, quicker roaches.
Yeah, I think he actually had a Baneling Nest on the way, or maybe that was Impact. But either way, it's been cancelled. There is no Baneling Nest completed for either player, and roaches are on the way here for Solar, whereas Impact's going for the quicker third base, and
yeah,
he's only got the one gas, so his roaches are a little bit late. This is very greedy from Impact, I think.
It is. He's droned really heavily up to this point.
Yeah.
Sure, he'll have the money to make enough roaches to defend, but will he have the time to do it? Because Solar's gone all in with this. It's 2 bases. Impact knows this because his Overlord's been scouting. I feel like his choice to continue to drone was not a good one. And we might just see the consequences suffered.
You know, that bold strategy cotton meme?
Yeah, we'll see if it pays off.
Yeah, that's what I'm feeling here for Impact. I mean, if he holds, he's going to be in a really, really lovely spot to close out the game as it goes on, but that's a pretty big if. We're seeing Lings on the way here for Solar, and a bunch of roaches marching across through the middle of the map.
Jimmy Jamjars, what was that donation image? What just came on my screen?
What? Is that the PogChamp guy?
I don't... okay, we'll get to that in a second. We got the attack commencing. There's a lot of Lings on top of the Queens. Roaches are on the way, but they're split. He's not going to have 11 roaches spawning at the natural. He's going to have them coming half here, half in the main. He's pulling drones. And granted, Impact can lose some drones here, guys. He can afford to lose about 10, in fact, and still be in a good spot. So the roaches are kind of being dealt with. I don't know if this is working for Solar. It looked really deadly initially, but Impact's starting to hold.
He certainly is, as the roaches start to get hatched out here. He has some more popping out of that natural hatchery as well, which are going to be able to engage incredibly fast. And he loses 13 drones, but he has the third hatchery. So you can replenish. You can see all the drones are getting replenished right now.
Ooh. And he had faster layer tech, I believe, too, right? No, it's actually Solar, excuse me, who has the faster layer tech.
Yep. He's still on tier 1.
Well, this, in a very odd way, evens out the game for now, but we'll see how that transitions out. Both players plus ones are pretty similarly timed, but speed's a big deal. And that's something Solar should have going for him. I swear, and this, maybe he canceled it? I thought Impact had a layer on the way.
Possibly.
I'm willing to admit, though, that I've been to Crazy Town.
Well, you did mention that you're that you have like a StarCraft soup happening up there in that brain.
You know what, actually?
Right in front of those links.
Today's soup is brought to you all of VR chat. I've been playing a little bit too much of that. I had a lot of fun last night.
Oh,
Yo,
man.
I can't tell the full story right now, but guys, I witnessed a police raid in VR chat where like 8 people, they had to have been streaming or something, right? 8 people came in dressed as cops, and they had like these avatars that could like plant cocaine on you. It was so stupid. They're all using like these really shitty mics too, so it sounds like over. We're gonna come in with a 14-9er. Over. Like, it's ridiculous.
That seems like it'd be pretty fun. Man, I'm going full weeb right now. I'm playing like some JRPGs and shit when I'm not playing StarCraft.
Nice.
That VR seems like a good time. Final Fantasy 12 Remaster just came out, and I'm also trying to finish Nier Automata. I haven't finished it yet.
I've got that and my PS4 locked and loaded for when I finally get my dental work done later this year, and I need to spend a week recovering.
Nice. I actually need to do dental work as well, but I'm actually like really scared to do it because, I mean, like you said, you got to take time off because you can't really talk or do stuff, and casting's kind of how I make my money. So.
Kind of what we do, yeah. I know it's like I should have done this last year, but every time it's like, oh, we got another thing and another thing, another thing. I got to force myself to take some time off after the BTSL. But anyways, we got Spire coming up behind us for Solar, so it's another roach attack that may or may not do well. Either way, as long as it keeps impact on the ground, the muta transition might work out really well here.
Well, a bunch of the roaches here of Solar aren't in the fight. They are now as they move forward, and he has roach speed, so he can get out of dodge if he needs to. Eating a bile there, unfortunately, but yeah, he certainly is. He's starting to pull on through. The Queens are helping out a fair bit here for impact.
This is the beauty of speed on those roaches. He can actually withdraw if he'd like, and Impact cannot give chase. Not until zone speed is done in about, was it 10-15 seconds?
See chat talking about their wisdom teeth. Wisdom teeth is actually what I need to get worked on.
Same. My wisdom teeth are like our blue Zerg player, impacted.
The puns.
This
I was
is
surprised
very
you didn't say something like in the first series, like saying that he's climbing the ladder one rung at a time or something like that.
Holding it back, man. It's locked and loaded. It always is. But very interesting, where Solar chooses to go by Sky, Impact decides to go the exact opposite way and goes by underground. Tunneling Claws and Burrow coming up in a sec here, which could work. The mutas, there's not going to be, if he's doing this the way I think he's doing it, the way Bly does it, you're not actually going to have that big of an investment in them. You're only going to have some. And they're meant to catch your opponent off guard because they don't have anti-air. Sure. But the roaches are a lot more reliable. They're a lot more durable, and especially while underground, they're a lot harder to kill due to that really quick regen. So I feel like the mutas are a cool swap, but unless he dedicates hardcore to them, which I don't think he is, he's gone for Banelings expecting Hydras.
Which is right.
Well, I mean, it's a Zerg player in Legacy of the Void. Yeah, expect Hydras.
Yeah, right. The Hydra's got changed. I won't say nerfed or buffed, but I guess it's a nerf. Having the upgrades split here. The Grooved Spines is back. Muscular Augments now is just Hydralisk speed, not range. So,
yeah, actually,
double ups for the Zergs.
The amount of people who have, within the last week, been asking, what's that upgrade in the production tab?
Grooved Spines.
Yeah, it's very noticeable. Not condescending, by the way, to anybody watching that doesn't know. It's just I'm surprised, I guess, how many people were unaware that that was changed.
No, I'm being condescending. Get good. Watch more StarCraft. What's the matter with you?
Okay.
I'm just kidding. Whatever, guys. Point is, it's changed the Hydras a little bit. and they are going to be on the way, and there is banelings already on the way here. So, you know, Solar's going for this air build, this air harassment with the mutas, which is getting work done, but not tons. And he's sort of like reading the plays and the counter plays here. I like it.
Well, the mutas were meant to distract a lot more. Impact's not being distracted. He's just going for it. He says, you know what? I know you're wasting my time. I know this isn't a dedication to mutas. But, man, Solar's got 32 banelings? Yeah, 20 done, 12 more finishing up. Even if these don't hit the Hydras, even if these just hit the Roaches, the splash damage alone is going to make them fantastic.
Also, Solar still has more Roaches than Impact. Which is pretty sick.
Impact does have an upgrade lead for now, but that might taper off soon as Solar's is about 30 seconds out.
What's that upgrade? What's Impact getting right now?
That's Carapace. It's common upgrade to give you extra armor for all the Zerg units.
All right. Okay, cool.
But yeah, there's the Group Spine. So that's the split upgrade that you guys are not used to seeing.
Nice. Yeah, that +2 is a huge deal when you have Roach versus Roach. Big deal, especially Hydras as well. Oop. And those banelings are looking for that Hydra ball.
I mean, again, even if they don't connect to the Hydras, they can connect to anything. There's just so many banelings.
There is indeed. And they are barreling on through. Starting to get thinned out now.
Oh, they did get a lot of the Hydras, though. He's down to 4 Hydras. 24 Roaches to 42. Solar should be winning this game. He takes the base down, not a problem. He's losing some drones on the other side of the field to some very annoying burrowed Roaches, but ultimately this fight's what matters more, and I think that this should snowball. Yeah. But he's not fighting with all those Roaches. Oh, you can't make mistakes like that.
Yeah, well, Solar's got this one. You see that GG getting tapped out of her from Solar. Impact really didn't. That game was kind of over after the banelings found all the Hydras because the Roach count was in Solar's favor before that engagement, and it only got worse. The problem was exacerbated after that fight because he was just up 50 or 60 army supply.
Ooh,
pretty damn good.
I forgot to put us on Team Liquid.
Oops. Good viewership considering it's not Team Liquid.
Well, I'll just say thank you to Twitch for that front page access, man. Helps out a bunch, but yeah. Solar says he needs a quick toilet break, and Biogenesis will be the next map, so we're going to also take a quick commercial break while we get this sorted. Thank you guys for watching. We'll be back soon. Hey guys, we're back, but I fucked up. You're going to see why in just a moment. Let's get the game going at least. If you are watching this right now, you are an awesome person using Twitch Prime, or a scumbag using ad block. I did not time those ads out correctly. That's on me. So if anyone watches the VOD of this later, just please know that I'm super sorry. It doesn't happen often, but it does happen once in a while. My bad. My goof. But let's just hop into the game and pretend to nub for the time being so we can carry through with the cast. Spotting at the top left, we have the red Zerg player up 1-0 in these semifinals. It's Solar.
That's right. In the bottom right, this is Impact. And a thank you very much to JDS17 for a Twitch Prime sub. I believe you are the gentleman who also donated earlier. You based God. I'm
going to assume so at least. Similar names match up. Also, Chaos Fire Dragon also threw 100 bits our way. We missed that earlier. Big thank you to him as well. And Talenus Prime also hitting us up. I guess we should...
Just Talenus with a Prime, yeah.
You know what? Talenus Prime sounds cooler. We're talking about Transformers earlier.
Yeah. You failed me for the last time, Talenus.
I always hated Starscream's voice. Every iteration of Transformers, Starscream has the worst voice, honestly.
I was doing Megatron. But,
I know you were, but I'm just saying, like, Starscream always talks like this.
No, you're right. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Starscream has the coolest name. Like, I think Starscream's a sick name. And I had a Starscream toy when I was a kid, but then when I heard him, like, in the cartoon, I was like, ooh.
Well, that's a timeout right there. Go ahead and think about what you've done there for Reviewer King.
I mean, it might have been trolling because he was objectively wrong, but that's cool.
That's how I feel a lot of the time when that one kid comes in and starts spamming stuff. But anyways, we got links coming across the map. Very early timing. This is dedicated. This is meant to kill Solar. This isn't meant to be a small trade-off because gas was put into it. Baneliness is following it up. Impact's just looking for a very quick way to rectify the loss he took in Game 1.
Yeah, bit of early ling aggression here. He's going to start nibbling away on that hatchery. Does Solar pull drones and try to defend? Or does he let it take the hits, pull back on the one base?
By the way, thank you, chat, for letting us know. Solar's also streaming his matches. We don't actually have problems with this or skins or anything else like that when we cast our tournaments, guys. So I would actually highly recommend if somebody who's a subscriber, so you don't get timed out by the bot, could link his stream so you guys can watch his first-person point of view. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. Definitely. It's always sick to see first-person in StarCraft. You guys don't realize how hard this until you see it played first-person.
Families are going to
definitely bust through these links.
They opened the way. It is the queen.
Yeah, you know the way. Got him.
Spine Crawler was set up really nicely out of Solar. This will help out a ton, especially if it can focus down the Banelings. But the Banelings look for a hit on the drones. This drone's on that one shot. Oh, no! Oh, the Lings didn't get to capitalize on that, though. I was really expecting a quick hold position to pick off like 7 workers immediately, but not what happened. Baneling just needs to kill the Zerglings. Almost gets an amazing hit!
Yeah, that was so close to basically all the Lings dying there.
No way. I don't think this will... Okay.
Oh, shit.
God, so
I thought
close.
those Lings are going to dive on that. Oh, my God.
I'm biting my fist on that one, man. That was possibly going to be so cool. But, okay, so both players going to try and transition out of it, right? We see the hatchery come down out of impact. He's, I guess, confident in the damage he dealt. He did some pretty nice damage, but Solar's only like a little bit behind from this, honestly. This was hardly devastating.
Yeah, the hatchery's coming down back at home for impact. But, Solar had to make the spine crawler as well, which keeps him safe, but it's a drone down, it's 100 minerals. All things considered, considering you've already put that into a hatchery.
Yeah, top of queen lost, right? Like it all stacks up a little bit more than what the resources lost shows. But this is got the potential to just turn into a very similar game to what we saw before. I would love to see macro out of this. The key thing we're going to be looking for the production tab, and you guys should be too, is whether somebody stops droning or not. Because this is a situation where you really could still snap your fingers and turn this into a Ling all-in.
Well, that's what these Banelings are for.
Banelings can, when they're not busy making us clench our buttholes, ruin or make a game, all things depending. But
yeah, they're really big. Like they are basically the comeback mechanic for Zerg. I feel the Banelings. They really are just like. I think they worked them out that they actually have like the highest damage output in the game, considering that the amount of splash damage they can potentially do.
You know, for me, I think there was that period of HOTS, and it really set the precedent for, I think, boring ZvZs, where it was all Roach versus Roach, and then eventually turned into Swarmhost versus Swarmhost. But either way, they were kind of dull versions of the game to watch. And that's what killed me, because I remember watching a lot of Wings of Liberty games as I was getting into StarCraft, and like the Ling Banling Wars were a lot more common back then. They were a lot scarier and a lot more tense and a lot more game deciding. And
that's all it was, yeah.
That's why I was like, I was so stoked for ZvZ that time. I remember, like, you're like a child who's growing up and realizing all the things he's losing as a child, because as you grow up in HOTS, it becomes roaches, and you're like, this is the equivalent of paying taxes as an adult. It just sucks.
I think like towards the end of Wings of Liberty is when it was all like Roach and Fester, from memory, like 2012, nearly 2013 is when Heart of the Swarm came out.
When Festers used to be good. You know, I'm actually really surprised.
Great.
Dude, they gave Infestitarians the upgrades back. They, in fact, gave them a rocket launcher upgrade on top of that, right, for the anti-air. And I remember when they took all of that away, it was because, oh, the upgrades were so broken and Infestitarians were impossible to play against. I'm surprised the Infestors are still not used in that fashion nowadays. But I guess there's more tools available to help deal with it.
Baneling comes in and damages a ton of these drones here.
Took out a bunch of larvae, too.
Yeah, that's a very nice Baneling. And these Lings are being a little bit annoying in the main base. They're not going to do any critical damage here. Should be cleaned up and pushed out. It looks like Impact actually wanted to go towards a third hatchery, whereas Solar, not so much. He's going into Roach production.
Yeah, he's got quite a few of them marching across, but this is looking a little bit deja vu-y, just in terms of the fact that, you know, Impact's slower to the draw, but his defense should be okay. Banelings were not good, unfortunately, but spines are close. His own roaches are spawning. I think it's going to be very difficult for Solar to snowball this, but he does come in with a better army supply. 15 to 8.
He does. With queens and static defense, though, can make a big difference for the defending player, even with the army supply. And I love this decision to break off those lings. Not going to be a ton of help in the fight, but they are great at running by and getting into the drone lines, and that's exactly what they're doing here in the main.
Even just picking off that queen can stunt a lot of production from the larvas and the lack of injects, but not getting a lot done with the lings other than the distraction. And frankly, a distraction's fine too. That was really weird. What are they doing? Because it gives Impact all the time to build more of those roaches, to reposition the spines to be in a better spot, because they take like, what, 10 years to reburrow?
Almost 11 years, I think. It's like 10 years and 9 months. Quite a while.
It's like there's human years, there's dog years, and there's spine crawlers burrowing years.
Well, with the metabolism of Zerg units, they age a lot quicker. Like they just experience life like a shotgun blast.
Oh like yeah, they get boosted, metabolic boosts.
That's right, exactly.
So dumb.
We're really, really dumb.
It's like that concept of guys, man. Go to space, you'll age slower.
As good as my casts can be, when you come and watch these base trades this time, same place, you are going to experience some B-team Maynard casts, dudes.
Well, that's because we're not casting, dude.
Bad jokes.
We're field reporting.
No, we're actually just... That's right.
No way. Are you for real right now?
What are they... What?
Hang on, the perfect Seinfeld moment.
Yeah, this is it.
Like, I kind of see what he's doing when he wants to drag this across the map, but he sees with the Overseer, there's no creep spread there for this. And Solar has eyes on it. This is just awkward out of Impact, frankly.
Yeah. Spine crawlers don't fight until they're burrowed, guys. And I have to bring this up. I don't want to.
And it goes back to the dumb memes we're making. They take so long to burrow. It's usually... Look at this. Well, one of these spines is going to be half dead to the other spine by the time it actually burrows in.
Yeah, we're here, guys. We've got this. And now one of them dies, and the other one's going to die the other spine crawler because it got the shot first. And there's an actual fight here happening on the top. But the concave favors Solar, and so does the roach supply. He's also got the defender's advantage, so he is actually going to crush this.
Yeah, this is... I don't know what Impact was thinking. Like, the spine crawlers were awkward, sure, but he came in to an even Zerg fight expecting to overcome defender's advantage, which is just not the case. GG's get called. Solar will secure a 2-0 lead. Not a victory yet, but a lead in this best of 5.
Yeah, puts him on match point. Tell me it's not going to be another 3-0 after that 3-0. Please no.
I hope not. Because that would make for a very short cast today, Maynard.
It would. It would. I got like caffeine in my system and everything, man, so I could last the whole thing. I'm thinking, shit, man, this might go to 4 a.m. I saw all those in that bracket.
Yeah. Well,
before the sign-ups and everything. Yeah.
Either way, this could be a 2-hour cast, a 5-hour cast. I get to hang out with my buddy Maynard talking about StarCraft. I'm satisfied.
And really, that means that we are the big winners here. These guys are going to win money, but we win with our hearts win. They are what are getting paid. I'm getting paid in love.
God, you're so lame.
Except from that,
it hurts.
Except from like Twitch chat, I suppose.
Oh, don't let that one guy get to you, man. We got Catalyst for game number 3. We'll see if this ends up being the determining map or not. Either way, players are ready to go, so let's launch into it. See you guys in a few moments. Welcome back, folks. It's game number 3. Spawning here on the top left, leading with a very solid 2-0 and looking to close out the series with this win. Going for that 12 pull, it's Solar.
And being a little bit more of a gentleman in the bottom right here, but currently down 2 maps, this is Impact.
Well, gentlemen, reminds me of that phrase, good guys finish last. And that might happen here for Impact.
Yeah, because especially considering it looks like he's going hatch first. Yeah. Well, this is the 12-pull variety without gas, so this isn't the all-in variety, the one that you banned behind.
That's where we pause and see, was Solar the one I was thinking about earlier that was doing the spine crawler pulls, or the spine crawler proxies? Because if this is that 12 pull, then it is all in. But you're right, most of the time this is like the I'm kind of macroing version of it.
Oh, a drone came off the line. Oh,
I think he's just taking a I think he's just taking a hatchery.
That's expansion. That's expansion, yeah. I was getting excited for a second there.
Me too, man.
Where's
Me
the
too.
second one?
All right, so to be perfectly clear, guys, in a good defense for Impact, he'll maybe save the hatchery, likely lose the hatchery, but shouldn't lose the game. The problem is, though, going hatch, gas, pool, this is like the worst build order you could have for this. This will be the latest Zerglings, the latest queen. He sees this, and now he's got to start contemplating, do I want to pull drones and protect the hatchery, or do I just have to let it go?
I feel like pulling drones generally is favorable, giving time for your lings to come out, but because I'd rather to take drone damage than lose this hatch, but they are better Zerg players than me, so they know the way. And the hatchery does finish.
By the way, just been reported in chat, all the codes have been allegedly used up for the match arena.
Nice.
Good stuff, guys.
Good form, chat.
Well played. Nice micro actually out of Impact, to be honest. The way he handled the drones, he didn't actually lose any.
Oh, hatchery's getting low. Getting low.
Shorty getting low, low. I think he's actually gonna get the hatchery at this rate.
No. Oh, that's so bad for Impact.
Yeah. This is why it gets shaky, because right, Solar now is his own hatchery. His queen's out and good to go. Sure, he's going to be missing a couple drones, but that's going to be made up in the time it takes Impact to build his own hatchery. Who, by the way, he's long distance mining, and he hasn't corrected it yet. Grab the minerals while you're down there, but then, go back to mining in the main. Yikes. That's a yikes for me, dog.
I mean, he doesn't have that many more Zerglings than Solar. Like, what are these Zerglings going to do, man? They're going to have speed, yeah, but... I mean, speed Zerglings can pick up a drone here and there, but I feel like a drone here and there is not going to cut the mustard. He needs to do more than that.
Would you like would you have to freeze the mustard first so that you could actually cut into it?
I mean, technically when you put a knife into the mustard, you're cutting it. Technically.
Mind blown. This is proving to be a little bit annoying for Solar to catch, but this is hardly threatening. I think with 3 queens in good position, this drone line looks pretty protected.
Yep, and he's just going to make his own lings, droning up as well with a few of that lava, and he's got that lings on the way out, and kind of block in so he gets all of these lings. He's trying. But he's just starting to get gas now, so that speed is quite a bit behind. Impact's double expanding to try and come back into this, and I like that decision.
Yeah, that's a good choice too, because these lings will have pretty good eyes on what's going on. In fact, one of the best things that Impact could do in this situation is not really damage to the drone line, but just constantly picking off Solar's drone that goes for the third base over and over and over. There's a clip that came up on Reddit a little while ago. You guys may have seen it or may have not. Golden denied his opponent's third base drone 6 times in a row. It's just speedlings, like a small amount of speedlings like this. And it got him, like, it was a ridiculous, stupid game. I think he still ended up losing, but it just screws with your opponent so badly to do that. These
lings just... They are playing Ring Around the Rosie here, the main base is Solar. And every time they come around these queens, they lose 1 or 2 of their brothers.
Yeah. There's not really much to be done other than this, though. It's constant scouting at the very least. It's keeping Impact, or excuse me, it's keeping Solar at home. I mean, these lings are not destined to really do anything, but it's better than sitting at home with the lings and doing nothing on his side of the field.
I mean, yeah, they see the lair, and all he needs to do is look back and shift few of them around a little bit. It's no big deal.
These queens have so much energy, too, from not injecting, from not creep tumors.
Yeah, well, they don't need to spread creep, and they're already, like, both hatcheries do have injections constantly, which is all he needs.
Oh, fake the lair. Oh, that's so sick. Cancels the gas too. Ooh. Oh, Solar's just gonna go all in. This is so cool. So if you guys take a quick look at Impact's vision, right? All that scouting, all that Ring Around the Rosie, it makes it look like this is moving towards the lair in a macro game. And one of the big drawbacks here is because the lings were in the main, he never actually confirmed whether Solar moved out and took a third or not. So he has no idea about this, but he can guess from this it's either a lair all in, which is a later timing, or a third base macro game. What he's not going to be prepared for is Solar coming in very quickly with this all in. Now a lot of roaches already built, and now he's going to bring a spine crawler across the map with some queens and say, Impact, this is how you do it.
This is how we do it. And there's not really an Overlord spread at all for Impact. The Overseer
is now seeing it.
Back now, but it's too little too late.
Yeah, if Solar really wanted to, he could start dropping some creep with these Overlords too. Would be cool to see. Oh no, he can't actually cancel the layer. Take it back.
Lings coming in from the back here for Impact, trying to catch some of these reinforcements, but there are a lot of Lings here for Solar as well. to meet them. And here comes the Roach attack into the natural. Spinecrawl is just starting way too late.
Yeah, last time these were finishing just in time. This time, not even getting started at an appropriate time. He might even be able to pick up that Roach Warren too, cut out the production of his opponent. I don't know, drones on hold position. Kind of nice to see. They're helping a little bit, block some of the Roaches, but they're now blocking some of the positioning here between the buildings is so good for Solar. In fact, own SimCity is getting him killed.
Yeah, Solar found his defensive position and is taking it for an offensive maneuver. And he's killing nearly 20 drones here, and the count is climbing. Hello, Spinecrawler. How you doing, bud?
GG.
GG. 3-0. Wow.
3-0.
Damn. Quick semis.
This is interesting, though, because
it
yeah, right. This does send Solar to the grand finals, where he'll fight off against Innovation. This will be a very, very interesting TVZ, I think. But I definitely favor Innovation for this one.
Yeah, me too. But I think that Innovation has more of a shot against Impact than Solar. I think that Innovation Solar will be a much closer series, so I'm excited for that.
Well, guys, I want to take a moment before we go to commercials and before we set up the finals to do some sponsor talk stuff. I know it's not fun, it's kind of boring, but hey, without them, this wouldn't happen. So first off, the initial $100 that made us able to just throw a tournament willy-nilly like this comes from you guys, the subscribers on BaseTradeTV. I mentioned before, and I'll restate it now, since Zombie Grub has taken a step back from the channel and has become a more casual visitor, she's not getting the sub money. And rather than just take that extra 50% of the sub money and put it in my pocket, I'm using it to fuel more StarCraft events again. So whether it's giving more prize money or creating events when we don't normally have events, the subscribers make this possible. So folks who subscribe to the channel, be it through Twitch Prime or through your own hard-earned cash, thank you. I really appreciate you. And this will just be a small call to action to check and see if your Prime subs are off cooldown. If they are, we'd love to have them. If you're an Amazon Prime user and you don't have a Twitch account, you don't use Twitch Prime, take a second to make it. Because what will cost you maybe a minute of your time could benefit us in a big way by subscribing to the channel for free with that Twitch Prime. That being said, the other sponsors for this are above me, Matcherino. They give us 100 codes, which is always cool to see. 100 extra bucks going to the prize pool. And Luckbox over there in the top right. You can type !Luckbox. We also have an ! giveaway going with them as well. And without them, we wouldn't have a $300 baseline prize pool. But then we must also give some love to the folks who upgraded this, right? Monty and 100 bucks, OFU 51, 47 is 10, and Janie Jane with 6. We right now have a $468 prize pool for the players today. That's pretty sick.
And also, a quick shout out to Stig Vatland, 14 months in a row, and to Legacy 205 for Twitch Prime sub.
Thank you guys very much.
Welcome.
Or should I say, hang on. Thank you guys! Man, I'm getting a taste of the autotune. All right, commercial time. When we get back, we'll have Innovation versus Solar. Best of 5 grand finals. See you guys soon.